All right, well, a viewer wants to know, after watching everything that transpired, how the panel feels about the medical marijuana compromise, and what does the panel think about this?
Medical cannabis.
Yeah. Medical cannabis, excuse me. I got to use
rebranding.
Precise language. Representative Scott, should we start with you? What do you think?
Sure. Well, I was a no vote on that. My concern was that there's a lot of research going on right now as far as the long-term effects of medical cannabis, but there's really nothing conclusive. And, of course, my concern is the long-term use of medical cannabis. I felt at times that I was voting on something that was way above my pay grade. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a physician. The medical community was not clamoring for this either. So I felt like this was something that's better left to, the FDA, or at least let's get some more research before we go giving this to especially young children. And I understand the issue is a very emotional one when we have the mothers coming to testify and they've got 8 or 10 pill bottles that their young children are currently taking all these prescriptions to try to end multiple seizures that they have a day. And some split families, part of them living in Colorado and part of them living here, so that they can have access to cannabis. And so my concern was just that the jury is still out on this. And I thought it was premature and something that, again, maybe the legislature shouldn't be dabbling in and leave it to the professionals.
And yet we're far behind many other states who have been doing this for a long time successfully. In Minnesota, many years ago, we passed a bill in both the House and the Senate.
2007, we passed it.
And went to the governor and was vetoed. And then it wasn't even all that controversial. It passed rather easily through both the House and the Senate. And so we are behind. I would have preferred the Senate bill. The whole issue of limiting for whom this is available, I think, was a controversial piece. The number of manufacturers, the number of sites that it's available, and so the Senate bill went further, and that would have been what I would have preferred. In fact, there were some proponents who were upset that I voted for the House bill because they felt that it didn't go far enough.
I think on our side in the Senate, Senator Peterson, who was very involved in this bill, and he ended up voting against it because for that very reason, he didn't think that the bill that was passed really was going to do enough to address the concerns. But I did not support the bill, and I have kind of the same concerns that Representative Scott talked about. I just have I'm not opposed to medical marijuana. I think maybe it's a great thing, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a researcher. I just find it difficult to say we have a process of dealing with medications using the FDA and pharmacies and physicians, and we have this structure that we all rely on. It's safe, it's reliable, and then we're going to set it all aside in this one instance and do something that's very, very different without nearly the kinds of controls on dosage, on quality, on just the control of the substance. And I think if we should be consistent in how we deal with medications. That's my only concern. And the physician community, for the most part, does not support this. And I think we need to have probably a little more work, I think, at the federal level to do some more research on this and find a way to do it. We'll see how this experiment turns out, but...
and yet many of those families described other kinds of prescriptions they were in fact given by the medical community that had devastating consequences for
that's part
their
of
children.
That's part of the challenge. Is you're right. You talk to the medical people, the researchers, and they'll say they've looked at this and there's no medical benefit to marijuana.
I don't think they've done enough research at all. The federal government has really prevented research because it's considered a narcotic drug, and they haven't really thoroughly looked at it. And so that's the problem, is you have anecdotal evidence that it's been successful. And I would agree that the research needs to happen so that the dosage is appropriate for the age, et cetera. But I think there just became a frustration that there was just kind of an anti-marijuana attitude. I mean, the cannabis plant has a lot of agricultural benefits for rope and for clothing, and there's so many things that would be a great boon from it. But because of its marijuana and it has a negative stereotype, there was not a very openness to looking at all the different properties that could be useful.
One of my constituents pointed out that Queen Victoria's private physician had prescribed tincture of cannabis for menstrual cramps. Queen Victoria. So this issue has been around a very long time.
Well, they also used to prescribe bleeding in the 1800s. That didn't seem to work so well. So, yeah, I don't have a position on this. It's kind of interesting to listen to the conversation because it looks like we're going to have an opportunity here to kind of see how this unfolds, and we'll see what the next step is. Is there a plan that this will be revisited again in the next legislative session? Obviously, that's a whole new legislature, but.
I don't think there's a plan to do that, but I think that there will be, and it may be too soon next year to look at this because I think it's going to take a little while to see what happens with what we've passed and see how that works.
And there are concerns, too, not to interrupt, but there are some concerns, too, that because whether it's going to financially work for the companies that are going to be distributing this and raising this, and whether it's going to be if we're only going to dispense it to around 5,000 people, I think is the last count that I remember hearing about in the House, is that going to be enough to substantiate they're going into this business?
And it's a rulemaking process, too,
Sure.
to develop all the rules, and that could take 18 months. So it's not going to be here overnight.
We're ways from it.
Yeah. All right, stay tuned.